The year was 2157. Humans had spread beyond Earth, building homes on Mars and Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. Europa Colony was humanity's farthest outpost, a place where 3,000 people lived under protective domes that kept out the cold of space. Captain John Miller stood at the viewport, watching the alien ship descend. His heart beat faster. This was a historic moment, humanity's first contact with intelligent life from beyond the solar system. "They call themselves the Corvani," said Lisa Brown, the colony's security chief. She stood beside him, her hand resting on her holstered pistol. Their message seemed peaceful enough. The alien ship landed on the designated pad. It looked like a giant beetle, with a shiny black shell and strange protrusions that might have been weapons or sensors. "Keep the security teams on alert," John said quietly. "Friendly or not, I don't want surprises." The aliens that emerged looked insect-like, with 4 arms and 2 legs. Their bodies were covered in a hard exoskeleton, and their faces had large compound eyes that shimmered with rainbow colors. They stood taller than humans, nearly 7 feet in height. "Welcome to Europa," John said, stepping forward with his hands open to show he carried no weapons. The lead alien made clicking sounds that the translator converted to English. "We are pleased to meet fellow intelligent life. I am Commander Zex of the Corvani Exploration Fleet." The first meetings went well. The Corvani shared information about their home system, 16 light-years from Earth. They seemed interested in trade and cultural exchange. But Lisa noticed something odd. Whenever human children walked past the meeting rooms, the aliens would stop talking and stare. Their antennae would twitch, and they would whisper among themselves. "I don't like how they look at our kids," Lisa told John after the second day of talks. "It's like they're studying them." John frowned. "Keep an eye on it. Maybe it's just curiosity. They said they reproduce differently, some kind of hive system with designated breeders." That night, John invited the Corvani leaders to dinner. Everything seemed normal until Commander Zex asked to tour the colony's school. "Our offspring are educated in group chambers," the alien explained. "We wish to compare methods." "Of course," John replied. "We can arrange that tomorrow." At 2:17 a.m. colony time, the alarms blared. John jumped from his bed and grabbed his communicator. "Security breach in Section 7. Lisa's voice was tight with fear. "The school section." John ran through the corridors, joining security teams converging on the school. When he arrived, he found classrooms with broken doors and teachers who had been knocked unconscious. "They're gone," a teacher named Ben Kelly sobbed, holding an ice pack to his head. "They took the children from my class. All of them." Lisa pulled up the security feeds on her tablet. The footage showed Corvani soldiers moving through the school, stunning teachers, and gathering children. The aliens were careful, not hurting the children, but firmly carrying them away. 12 children missing, Lisa reported, her face pale with anger. Ages 6 to 10. Outside, the Corvani ship was already lifting off. John ordered the colony's defensive systems activated, but it was too late. The alien ship accelerated rapidly and disappeared into space. Dr. Mary Ellis, whose son Billy was among the taken, collapsed to her knees. "Why would they take our children? What do they want with them?" The colony's communication officer rushed in. "Captain, we're receiving a message from the Corvani ship." On the screen, Commander Zex appeared. "We thank you for the specimens. They will serve a greater purpose in our research. Do not attempt to follow." Before John could respond, the transmission cut off. He looked around at the shocked faces of his people, at crying parents and stunned teachers. "Get me Earth Command," he said, his voice deadly calm. "Tell them exactly what happened, and then tell them we're going after our children." Lisa nodded, her hand now fully gripping her weapon. The Corvani have no idea what they've just done. The news reached Earth 3 days later. In every city, on every screen, people watched the security footage from Europa Colony. They saw alien figures carrying away human children. Mothers cried. Fathers yelled. Strangers held each other in shared anger and grief. In the United Earth Defense Force headquarters in Geneva, Admiral Kate Howard slammed her fist on the table. The room fell silent. 20 military leaders and government officials sat around her, their faces grim. "This is not just an act of war," she said. "This is unforgivable." A wall screen showed the faces of the 12 missing children. Among them was 8-year-old Lily Russell, daughter of George Russell, one of Europa's top engineers. George was present by video link, his eyes red from crying. "They took my daughter. I want to know what Earth is going to do about it." Dr. Patricia Dias sat beside the Admiral. As Earth's leading xenobiologist, she had studied the limited data on the Corvani. "The Corvani reproduce differently than us," she explained. "They lay thousands of eggs. Their young are not raised by parents, but in group facilities. They may not understand what they've done." "I don't care if they understand," said George. "I want my daughter back." Admiral Howard nodded. "You'll get her back. All of you will." She looked at the parents on the screen. "I promise you." She turned to her officers. "Prepare the UES Vengeance for immediate launch." The UES Vengeance was Earth's newest warship. Built in secret, it contained humanity's first working faster-than-light drive. It was meant to be revealed next year, but now it would serve a different purpose. In a military base in Arizona, Major Sam Winters gathered his team. 12 Marines, the best Earth had to offer. They sat in a circle as Sam explained their mission. "We're going after those kids," he said simply. "Admiral Howard has given us full authority to get them back, whatever it takes." One of his soldiers, a woman named Kim Lee, raised her hand. "Sir, do we know where the aliens took them?" "The Vengeance can track their ship," Sam replied. "We'll find them." Dr. Dias would go with them. As she packed her medical supplies, she worried about what the Corvani might be doing to the children. They weren't evil, she believed, just different. But that difference could be deadly. On the launch day, crowds gathered to watch the UES Vengeance leave Earth orbit. It was a beautiful ship, sleek and powerful. Few knew its true capabilities. Captain Olivia Chen took her place in the command chair. She had been chosen specifically for this mission. Her orders were clear: find the Corvani, recover the children, and show the aliens that taking human children was the worst mistake they could make. "FTL systems ready, Captain," reported the pilot. "All weapons systems online," added the tactical officer. Olivia nodded. "Begin final countdown." On the screen, Admiral Howard appeared for one last message. "Captain Chen, this mission is about more than rescue. It's about making sure nothing like this ever happens again. Make it clear to these Corvani what happens when someone takes our children." "Understood, Admiral," Olivia replied. Her own nephew was among the missing children. This was personal for her, too. In the ship's main hold, George Russell checked his equipment. He had demanded to join the mission, and his technical skills made him valuable. No one could keep him from searching for his daughter. Dr. Dias approached him. "We'll find them, George." He didn't look up. "Finding them isn't what worries me. It's what condition they'll be in when we do." The ship's engines hummed louder. The countdown reached 0. In a flash of blue light, the UES Vengeance disappeared from Earth's orbit, leaping across the stars toward Corvani space. The hunt had begun. The UES Vengeance emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Corvani star system. The ship's engines hummed quietly as Captain Chen ordered them to stay hidden behind the system's outer moon. "Scan for any sign of the children," she commanded. The crew worked quickly. Sensors swept across the system, looking for human life signs among the alien worlds. On the bridge, George Russell helped adjust the scanners to pick up even faint human readings. "Captain, we're picking up communications," said the communications officer. "I'm routing them through the translator." Alien voices filled the bridge, clicking and chirping. As the translator worked, words began to form. "The human specimens show remarkable resilience. Testing will begin on Subject 4 tomorrow. Their neural patterns are unlike anything we've seen." Dr. Dias listened closely, her face growing paler with each sentence. "They're talking about the children like they're lab animals." In the corner of the bridge, Major Winters clenched his fists. "We need to find them. Now." The scan results came in. Human life signs had been detected on a small moon orbiting the third planet. The readings matched the 12 missing children. "They're alive," George whispered, tears in his eyes. "Lily's alive." But the relief was short-lived. More translated communications revealed the horrible truth. "The specimens will provide valuable data on human development," said one Corvani scientist. "We should acquire more when possible." "The younger ones adapt better to the tests," said another. "Their bodies are more flexible." Captain Chen ordered a closer scan of the moon facility. Images showed a large research center built into the rocky surface. Inside, sensors detected the children in a secured area surrounded by labs. "They're experimenting on them," Dr. Dias said, reviewing the data. "They see human children as perfect test subjects because they're still developing." "But why?" asked George. "What could they want with our kids?" Dr. Dias looked at more translations of Corvani messages. The Corvani produce thousands of offspring at once. Most don't survive to adulthood. It's normal in their society. They don't understand why we value individual children so much. Captain Chen made a decision. "We're sending a message to their leadership." The communications officer prepared the system. Soon, a Corvani face appeared on the main screen. It belonged to a larger, older-looking Corvani with bright markings on its exoskeleton. "I am High Commander Vrix of the Corvani Dominion," it said. "Who dares enter our space uninvited?" Captain Chen stepped forward. "I am Captain Olivia Chen of Earth. You have taken 12 of our children. We demand their immediate return." The alien seemed surprised that humans had followed them so quickly, but showed no signs of concern. "The specimens were collected for important scientific research," Vrix replied. "Their sacrifice will benefit both our species." "They are not specimens," Chen said, her voice hard. "They are our children." The Corvani made a sound like laughter. "You produce so few offspring. We lay thousands of eggs each cycle. Many die. It is natural." "Not to us," Chen replied. "Return our children now, or face the consequences." Vrix dismissed her threat. "Your ship is impressive, but we have an entire fleet. You cannot hope to stand against us for a handful of young ones." As the communication ended, the sensors detected movement. 20 Corvani warships were moving to surround the moon facility. "They're protecting their research center," reported the tactical officer. Major Winters stepped forward. "My team can still get in there. We can extract the children before they know what's happening." Captain Chen nodded. "Prepare your team, Major." Dr. Dias looked at the scans again. "We need to hurry. Based on these readings, they've already started experiments on at least 3 of the children." George Russell grabbed his toolkit. "I'm going with the rescue team. My daughter is in there." No one argued with him. The determination in his eyes matched what everyone on the ship felt. The race to save the children had begun. Captain Olivia Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Vengeance, watching the Corvani fleet gather around the moon. Her face showed no fear, only cold determination. "Open a channel to their High Command again," she ordered. The screen flickered, and High Commander Vrix appeared once more. Other Corvani leaders stood behind him, their compound eyes reflecting the light. "You are still here," Vrix said. "Unwise." Chen stepped forward. "Let me be perfectly clear. You captured human children. Are you insane? You have no idea what you've done." Her words were translated into Corvani clicks and whistles. Some of the aliens in the background made movements that might have been laughter. "Your threats are empty," Vrix replied. "One ship against our fleet is suicide. Leave our space, and we may spare your lives." Chen's voice remained steady. "We are not leaving without our children. You have 1 hour to return them unharmed, or you will see exactly what humans are capable of when our young are threatened." She cut the transmission before Vrix could respond. In the ship's meeting room, Major Winters spread a map of the moon facility on the table. His team gathered around him, checking their weapons and gear. "The children are being held here," he said, pointing to a section deep inside the facility. "Security will be heavy. We'll need to move fast and quiet." Dr. Diaz joined them, carrying medical supplies. "Some of the children may be injured or sedated. I'll bring everything we might need." George Russell added, "I studied their security systems. I think I can disable them long enough for us to get in and out." On the moon's surface, inside the research facility, 10-year-old Amy Parker sat in a clear cell. Around her, other cells held the remaining children. Some cried quietly. Others stared blankly at the walls. 3 empty cells showed where children had been taken for testing. Amy had made herself the unofficial leader of the captive children. She walked to the edge of her cell, where she could see most of the others. "Everyone okay?" she asked softly. 8-year-old Lily Russell wiped her eyes. "I want my dad." "I know," Amy said, "but we need to be brave. Help is coming." "How do you know?" asked Ben, the youngest at 6 years old. Amy smiled. "Because our parents would never leave us here. Never." A Corvani scientist approached the cells, its 4 arms carrying strange instruments. The children fell silent, watching it with fear. "Subject 7, it clicked in its language. The translator on its body converted the sounds to English. "You will come for testing now." It was pointing at Lily. Amy quickly spoke up. "Take me instead," she said. "I'm bigger, better for testing." The Corvani paused, studying her. "Interesting. The specimens protect each other." It made notes on a device. "This requires further study." Back on the Vengeance, Captain Chen received a message from Earth. Admiral Howard's face appeared on screen. "The fleet is ready," Howard said. "Just give the word." Chen nodded. "Stand by. We're giving the Corvani one chance to do this peacefully." In his quarters, George Russell looked at a photo of his daughter Lily. "I'm coming, sweetheart," he whispered. The weapons officer approached Captain Chen. "Ma'am, the Corvani are powering up their weapons. They don't seem interested in negotiating." Chen's expression hardened. "Neither are we. Major Winters, is your team ready?" In the launch bay, Winters and his Marines stood fully equipped. "Ready, Captain." "Then launch as planned. We'll create a distraction." The small stealth shuttle carrying the rescue team departed the Vengeance, invisible to Corvani sensors thanks to advanced Earth technology. As the shuttle approached the moon, Chen opened a channel to the entire Corvani fleet. "This is your final warning," she said. "Return our children, or witness the fury of Earth." The Corvani response was immediate. Weapons locked onto the Vengeance. Chen smiled grimly. "So be it." The stealth shuttle landed silently on the dark side of the moon. Major Winters led his team out, their boots touching the dusty surface. 12 Marines, Dr. Diaz, and George Russell spread out, checking their equipment. Everyone wore special suits that protected them from the moon's thin, toxic atmosphere. "Remember, our only goal is to get the children," Winters said. "No unnecessary fighting." They moved quickly across the rocky terrain, using the moon's low gravity to make long, fast jumps. Soon, they reached a side entrance to the research facility. George Russell knelt by the door's control panel. His fingers worked fast, connecting a small device to the alien technology. "Their security is advanced, but not impossible," he muttered. After a minute, the door slid open. "We're in." Inside, the air was warm and damp, perfect for the insect-like Corvani. The rescue team moved through dim corridors, following the facility map they had created from scans. "Life signs ahead," whispered Kimberly, one of the Marines. 6 Corvani, moving away from us." They waited until the aliens passed, then continued deeper into the facility. When they reached a junction, a lone Corvani guard spotted them. Before it could sound an alarm, a Marine fired a silent dart. The guard dropped to the floor, unconscious. Meanwhile, aboard the UES Vengeance, Captain Chen watched as 5 Corvani warships approached her position. "Weapons ready," she ordered, "but hold fire until my command." She opened a channel to Earth. "Admiral Howard, we may need that fleet sooner than expected." On the moon, the rescue team reached the central laboratory area. Through a window, they saw 3 human children strapped to tables. Corvani scientists moved around them, using strange devices to scan and test. Dr. Diaz's face showed horror and anger. "They're taking tissue samples. We need to move now." Major Winters nodded to his team. "Go." The Marines burst into the lab. Their weapons fired stun rounds, dropping the surprised Corvani before they could react. Dr. Diaz rushed to the children. "You're safe now," she said, quickly removing the restraints. "We're taking you home." One of the children, a girl named Lily, looked up with tears in her eyes. "Daddy?" George pushed forward. "I'm here, sweetheart." He gathered his daughter in his arms, holding her tight. Dr. Diaz checked the other 2 children. "They're okay. Some minor injuries, but nothing permanent." "The others are in a holding area nearby," Lily said. "Amy has been helping everyone stay brave." Following Lily's directions, the team moved to the holding cells. They found 9 more children in clear enclosures. When the children saw the humans, they began to cry and call out. Amy Parker stood at the front of her cell. "I told you they would come," she said to the others, her voice proud. George used his device to override the cell controls. The transparent walls disappeared, and the children rushed to the rescuers. "We need to move fast," Major Winters said. "The Corvani will know we're here by now." As if answering his words, alarms began to blare throughout the facility. Red lights flashed in the corridors. "Back to the shuttle," Winters ordered. "Marines, defensive formation. Children in the middle." The team moved quickly, Marines carrying the smallest children. They had almost reached the exit when a group of armed Corvani soldiers appeared ahead. "Get back," Winters shouted, raising his weapon. But before either side could fire, the facility shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. On the Vengeance, Captain Chen watched her display as her ship's weapons hit precise targets on the moon's surface. "Keep firing," she ordered. "Give our people the distraction they need." The rescue team used the confusion to slip past the Corvani soldiers. They rushed outside, running for the shuttle. Behind them, parts of the facility began to collapse from the Vengeance's careful bombardment. As they reached the shuttle, Major Winters did a quick count. 12 children, all accounted for, everyone on board now. The engines fired up as the last Marine jumped inside. The shuttle lifted off just as a larger group of Corvani soldiers emerged from the facility, firing energy weapons that missed their target. The shuttle raced away from the moon, heading back toward the waiting Vengeance. The rescue shuttle raced toward the UES Vengeance, carrying the 12 rescued children and their saviors. Inside, Dr. Diaz moved from child to child, checking them for injuries. "Captain, the shuttle is 2 minutes from docking," reported the communications officer on the Vengeance bridge. Captain Chen nodded, but her relief was short-lived. On the main screen, she watched as 20 more Corvani warships appeared from behind the planet. The alien fleet now surrounded her ship completely. "They're charging weapons," warned the tactical officer. Chen's face showed no fear. "Shields at maximum. Prepare all defensive systems." A message came through from High Commander Vrix. His compound eyes seemed to burn with anger. "You have stolen our research subjects and attacked our facility," he said. "Your ship will be destroyed as punishment." Chen smiled coldly. "You still don't understand what you've done, do you? You took children from their parents. On Earth, there is no greater crime." Vrix dismissed her words. "Your primitive emotions mean nothing. Our fleet will end this now." As the transmission ended, the rescue shuttle safely docked with the Vengeance. The children were rushed to the medical bay, accompanied by Dr. Diaz and the parents who had joined the mission. Major Winters reported to the bridge. "Mission complete, Captain. All children recovered." "Good work, Major." Chen turned to her communications officer. Send the signal to Earth. In the dark space behind the moon, bright flashes appeared. One by one, Earth ships emerged from faster-than-light travel. First one, then 5, then 20, and finally 50 warships formed a massive fleet that dwarfed the Corvani forces. Admiral Howard's voice came through the speakers. "This is Admiral Kate Howard of the United Earth Defense Force. Your species has committed an act of war against humanity by abducting our children. Surrender now." The Corvani ships seemed to freeze in surprise. They had never imagined humans could possess such a fleet or the technology to bring it here so quickly. On his command ship, High Commander Vrix stared at his display in shock. Impossible. They are a young species. They cannot have so many ships with faster-than-light capability. His science officer trembled. "We may have miscalculated." In the Vengeance's medical bay, the children were reunited with their rescuers. Amy Parker sat on an examination table while Dr. Diaz treated a small cut on her arm. "Did they hurt you badly?" Dr. Diaz asked gently. Amy shook her head. "They mostly just scanned us and took blood samples. They seemed confused when we cried or asked for our parents. Their society doesn't value individual children like we do," Dr. Diaz explained. "They don't understand family bonds." "That's sad," Amy said, showing compassion even after her ordeal. On the bridge, Chen received a priority message from Admiral Howard. "Captain, we've detected Corvani ships attempting to power up faster-than-light drives. They're trying to escape." Chen nodded. "Not this time." She activated a new weapon system, one that had never been used before. A pulse of energy spread out from the Vengeance, washing over the Corvani fleet. The alien ship's engines flickered and died. "FTL inhibitor successful," reported the tactical officer. "They can't jump away." Earth's fleet moved into position, surrounding the Corvani homeworld and its colonies. The message was clear. Humanity could strike at the very heart of Corvani civilization if they chose. Admiral Howard's voice echoed across all channels, transmitted to every Corvani ship and colony. "This is what happens when you threaten our children. We will go to any length, cross any distance, and face any danger to protect them." The Corvani High Command sent an emergency message. "We request negotiations." On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain Chen looked at Major Winters. "They're finally beginning to understand." Winters nodded. "Nothing in the universe is more dangerous than humans protecting their young." The rescued children gathered around a viewport, looking out at the massive Earth fleet that had come for them. Their faces showed amazement and pride. "Told you our parents would come," Amy said softly. 3 days passed. The Earth fleet remained in position around the Corvani homeworld. On the UES Vengeance, Captain Chen prepared for the final meeting with the alien leaders. The 12 rescued children had recovered well. Dr. Diaz's examinations showed they would have no lasting physical harm from their ordeal. The emotional scars would take longer to heal, but being back with their families helped. "The Corvani delegation is ready to board," reported the communications officer. Chen nodded. "Bring them to the main conference room." High Commander Vrix and 3 other Corvani leaders stepped onto the Vengeance. They moved nervously, their compound eyes darting around at the human crew who watched them with cold stares. Admiral Howard stood at the head of the conference table. "You came to our territory uninvited. You took our children. By all rights, we should destroy your fleet and bombard your worlds." Vrix lowered his head. "We did not understand. In our culture, offspring are not valuable as individuals. We produce thousands. Many do not survive to adulthood. It is our way." "That doesn't excuse what you did," Howard replied. "No," Vrix agreed. "It does not. We offer our surrender and any reparations you demand." Captain Chen stepped forward. "We don't want your surrender. We want your understanding." She pressed a button on the table. A door opened, and George Russell entered with his daughter Lily. Several other parents and their rescued children followed. "These are the families you tried to break apart," Chen said. "Watch and learn." Lily ran to her father, who picked her up and held her tight. Around them, other families embraced, some crying with joy. The Corvani leaders watched in silence, their antennae twitching in what might have been confusion. Each human child is precious, Dr. Diaz explained to the aliens. We have few offspring, and each one is loved and nurtured for many years. Parents and children form bonds that last a lifetime. Amy Parker approached the Corvani with no fear. At 10 years old, she showed more courage than many adults. You should watch how we grow up, she told Vrix. Then maybe you would understand why taking us was so wrong. Vrix studied the human child. You are very small, yet you speak with wisdom. I'm small because I'm still growing, Amy replied. My parents are helping me learn and grow. That's what human families do. For hours, the Corvani observed the human families. They watched the gentle care between parents and children, the protective instincts, the love that was obvious even to alien eyes. Finally, Admiral Howard presented the terms of peace. You will never again take any human without permission. You will share your scientific knowledge as compensation for what you've done. And you will learn about our cultures before attempting any further contact. We agree, Vrix said, and we request teachers to help us understand human family bonds. It is fascinating to us. That can be arranged, Howard replied. But remember this, the most dangerous force in this universe is a human protecting their child. Never forget that lesson. 1 week later, the Earth fleet prepared to return home. The Vengeance would lead the way, carrying the rescued children back to their colony on Europa. On the observation deck, Amy Parker stood with her father Ryan. They watched as the Corvani homeworld grew smaller in the distance. Do you think they'll ever understand us? Amy asked. Ryan put his arm around his daughter's shoulders. Maybe someday. At least they've learned not to underestimate humans. Captain Chen joined them. You were very brave, Amy. All of you children were. Amy smiled. We knew you would come for us. That's what humans do. We never leave anyone behind, especially not kids. In his quarters, High Commander Vrix watched the recording of the human families again. For the first time, he began to grasp what his people had done wrong. The concept of cherishing individual offspring was alien to his species, but he was learning. Fascinating creatures, these humans, he said to himself. So few in number, yet so powerful when united. We are fortunate they chose mercy over revenge. The stars streaked past as the Earth fleet jumped to faster-than-light speed, carrying the children home where they belonged, with their families who had never stopped fighting for them.